All right, so we can go ahead and get started. Tamara, who is the chair of our Government and Economic Policy Committee, this group, she is on the phone right now with the fire department and PG&E. So she might be a minute, but I will go ahead and get the meeting started. Today, we're very excited to have Dr. Adam Clark here. He's the new superintendent of Diablo Unified School District. And he's here to give us an update on the school and what we see here in the coming future, and to go into a little bit about the programs that they have within the school district. So I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Clark. If you want to introduce yourself and get started, please take it away.
Great. Well, thank you all so much. I'm very honored and excited to be before you today. I wish we were doing this in person, but this is the next best thing. They told me I had about a half hour, and so I have some slides that I'm going to go through, and I'll do that for about 20 minutes, and then I'll leave about 10 minutes for questions. But because I'm a skilled superintendent, what I'll probably do is talk for about 28 minutes and then leave 2 minutes for questions. I'm joking. So anyway, I'm just going to, give an overview of, how we're addressing COVID. I could not have a meeting without talking about COVID, but then I do want to highlight some of our programs and some of the direction that the district will be heading in. So if that sounds okay, then I will go ahead and share my screen and go ahead and get started. All right, hopefully I can do this smoothly. We shall see. We'll go from beginning. Can I get a thumbs up if you can see that, Melissa? Great. So I would just, we're just so excited to be back in person. We started school on last Thursday on the 11th, and all of our schools opened up full time to all students. And so we are more than thrilled to welcome back our students, our staff, and our families. I just want to say that every student, staff member, and family has been impacted by by COVID and by the effects of the pandemic, and we really understand that tensions are high, people are scared, and there's a great deal of anxiety out there, and all of our communities have been affected one way or another, and we can't judge who has had more or less trauma from this pandemic. So, and especially you all, I'm talking to the chamber, I'm talking to small business owners and things of that nature. And so I know, your perspective on this is completely different than maybe someone else, but all of it should be acknowledged and recognized, but we still can be respectful and caring of one another. And so, that's my message. Information, if you're looking for information about the Mount Diablo School District, I would definitely go to our website. We have a very, very comprehensive website with, a great deal of information, and definitely when it comes to our programs or information about COVID, I would highly recommend visiting our website. So last year, to sort of deal with COVID and the mitigation of the virus, these were many of the things that we put in place. We provided vaccination codes for all of our staff members so that we could skip the line and go and get vaccinated with the 65 and older crowd when the vaccinations first came out. And then we actually held our own vaccination clinic for all of our staff members, and that was held at Concord High. We've also replaced all of our MERV 13 filters throughout our district and in all of our schools and classrooms. We have a warehouse full of PPE, hand sanitizers, cleaning supplies. All of those are delivered and out at school sites and in the hands of teachers, administrators, custodial staff, and we have masks and hand sanitizers for all students. Starting in March last year, we started providing free COVID testing for families, staff members, and students, and we did it at multiple sites, and we did that all the way through June. We also were providing free testing and vaccinations at Riverview Middle School in Bay Point through the spring and the summer. We held a vaccination clinic specifically at Meadow Homes over the summer, and that was good for families, staff, and for walk-ups. So anyone could walk in and get a vaccination. And then in Concord, and this, I didn't plan this out, but this is just how it worked, is that we did do vaccination clinics over the summer at Concord High, Mount Diablo High, and Ignacio Valley. And those clinics were, we partnered with Kaiser, and we gave out the Pfizer vaccine. So we did it for 1 week at one site, and then we came back 3 weeks later to do the second shot at those sites. And so that's what we did last year to kind of address the COVID. So this year, just as we look at student safety, masks are required indoors for everyone who comes onto our campuses, staff, students, visitors. Physical distancing, we're physically distancing as much as possible outside of the classroom. Inside distancing is not required because of the wearing of the masks. We're continuing to sanitize at high levels. Our custodians are all equipped with foggers, and we're wiping down high-touch surfaces and really doing all the sanitation we can, both physical sanitation and also hand sanitation. So we have hand sanitizers, soap dispensers everywhere, all of that to continue to make sure that our students and staff are safe. We have seating charts in all of our classrooms, so if we need to do contact tracing, we can do that. And we have guidance around quarantine, and we are providing testing. So yesterday we did testing at Ignacio Valley High. We tested over 300 students, families, staff members, and today we're over at Ignacio Valley High, and we'll continue that. We're actually expanding our testing to over 10 sites starting next week. So we're very, very committed to testing not only our students and staff, but also community members and families who want to be tested as well. We have this flow chart. I'm not going to go into it, and I made it blurry on purpose, but this is our sort of chart, what to do if there's a case, what really constitutes a close contact of a student to student. And so if a student is vaccinated, then we have a protocol that we follow. If they're unvaccinated, we have a protocol that we follow, and it really does meet anything that the student would run into. Is it were both students wearing masks? Was one student wearing a mask and the other wasn't? Things to that nature. So all of this is on our website, is in the hands of our families, administrators, teachers, and students if they want. And then this is just a page from our website where we're really talking about the cleaning protocols that we're doing throughout our campuses. In terms of our employees, we're following Cal OSHA. And so all of the safety protocols that we have are those safety protocols that Cal OSHA has put out. And this includes employee leaves. So if an employee has to quarantine, they're not going to have to dip into their sick leave. They have COVID leave and things of that nature. And then we also have the employee and employer responsibilities in terms of safety and what guidance really pertains to their particular job, because we have many different people working in our district at many different levels. And so Cal OSHA really does guide that. And then of course, the testing that we have available to all staff members. It's not mandatory testing, but we do have it available. There's been lots of questions about whether or not we were going to mandate our staff be vaccinated. Well, so these are our vaccination numbers, and our employees have only been back since August 9th, and so we're still collecting this data. But when I pulled this last week, we were at 2,069 employees, and you can see the percentages of our employees who have been vaccinated. And so we feel really good about these numbers, but the governor has mandated that we require all staff to be vaccinated or to participate in mandatory testing. And so we will be implementing that by October 15th. want to say there's been some changes in the law. So last year we went to distance learning, where students, mainly this was how class was taught for the majority of the year last year. You had a teacher and they were on Zoom for 2+ hours a day. Parents, some parents hated it, some parents really liked it. But as we started this year, some parents are asking why can't we go back to distance learning? And the reason why is because Senate Bill 98, which authorized us to do distance learning in terms of instructional minutes and things of that nature, it expired on June 30th. And the purpose of that was this law is going to expire, and next year, this was over the summer, we just want all students to go back and be in school, right? So to go back in person, face to face. However, they knew that there were going to be either some students who needed medical waivers or things of that nature. So then they came up with Assembly Bill 103, which mandated every district to use independent study to provide that distance learning for those families that didn't want to come back. And so independent study is real different. The parent and the student meet with the teacher for an hour every other week, and they get all their assignments during that hour meeting. They go home and they do all their lessons and whatnot, and then they come back. So they've made some adjustments to that. And so now there has to be a kind of a face-to-face component, which can happen through Zoom, but it has to happen daily for about an hour. But that's all included in Senate Bill 103. The politicians wrote this, and so this is not necessarily, wasn't school driven or superintendent driven. This was the politicians reacting to the outcry of their constituents. And you can read between the lines. But I know I have a rep here from Glazer's office, so I'm not talking bad about any of our politicians. I'm just saying that this is political stuff here, which is fine. The politicians also put into place for our past juniors and seniors, because of the pandemic, that they could choose. Parents could choose to be retained or not. Like they can have a meeting with their teacher and principal, and basically if a parent wants their student to repeat a grade, then we have to hold the meeting. We don't necessarily, educators don't believe in retention outside of kindergarten, first grade, but if if a parent wanted their sixth grader to be retained, we would entertain that. And more than likely, if the parent really pushed it, we would approve that. And that's included in Assembly Bill 104. Also, students can opt to have their grades changed to a pass, no pass, instead of the letter grades. And clearly, you're not going to do this if you have an A or a B in a class, but for some of our Ds and things of that nature, they have chosen that. We did come out, not we, but the California Department of Education came out with a list of the colleges that would accept pass or no pass, and also the colleges that would not, so that students and families can make an educated decision before they opted for this, opportunity here that might delay or throw off their college admission process. And then also for students who are in danger of failing, California has a minimum graduation credit requirement of 130 credits. It's basically just your core classes, but like Concord High, YV High, Mount Diablo High, their credits required are 220. So for those students who are in danger of not graduating, they could opt for the 130 credits to graduate. And again, all of that is included in Senate Bill 104. All right, no more politics. So in Mount Diablo, we have a goal of all of our students when they leave our system will be college and career ready. So I'm going to focus really on the career side because this is the chamber, right? And so you all, of course, many of you hire students who go off to school and come back with a degree, but maybe students have alternative pathways to get into the work field. So just one program that we have, the College Now program, is where we partner with DVC, and students can take their high school classes on the DVC campus with instructors and take DVC classes, and so they get those dual credits. And so that's a program that we're very very proud of. And those students who participate in that, they apply for the program and they're able to enter into the College Now program. At Ignacio Valley High, we have different educational pathways. We have an education academy, engineering pathway, and a health academy. We also have the IB program. I'm just going to highlight the IB program. The International Baccalaureate, it aims to really develop, sort of kids who have a worldly view on education. So it's very different than the AP program, which is the Advanced Placement Program. But IB, really allows students to cohort together and to take a wide range of courses and to do a senior project that really interacts with community and the world the world as a whole, to really encompass this, this certificate as they graduate. I know President Cound will probably jump in and start talking about this program because she's a big supporter of this program, but I just wanted to touch on it, and I'm just giving very, very broad definitions here. At Concord High, again, many of you are familiar with the work at Concord High, but this is, under their CTE pathways. These are all the different, courses and different courses and pathways that they offer. And so, things like automotive engineering, computer applications, computer, manufacturing and whatnot are just very popular for kids. But our goal is to get kids to, have that sort of that work experience and partner with our industry partners to get that experience to decide whether or not this is something that I want to go into. But really, it's designed to make learning fun and to make it interesting and to make it applicable to the real world. And so, again, Concord High is doing, just a great job in this field. And I know that you all have, heard many things about, the different programs that are available over at Concord High. And then we have wall-to-wall academies over at Mount Diablo High. Again, architecture, construction, engineering, digital safari, where students can take programming classes, other digital classes. Very popular hospitality academy. The Biotech Academy is also one where those students are really getting those hands-on real life experiences in that academy. And then our World Academy, that's for our newcomers, where again, they can get that, get that special support. I know when I was making this presentation and I see Victoria on the call, I was going to do something on adult ed, Victoria, but I decided just to focus on the high schools. But we have a very, very very comprehensive adult ed program that has all different sorts of programs for adults earning their diploma, to earning different skills, learning learning English, things of that nature. And I know that you all have heard much about our adult program here, but something just that we're very proud of. So this is ways that we're feeding our students into the business world. One thing I wanted to just touch on at Mount Diablo High, because I am so inept in this field, and that really is woodworking. And it's so funny, when I was in middle school and high school, we had wood shops, we had metal shops, and then those all went away. And I'm not here to debate that or whatnot, but it's just funny how things come back. But the wood shop at Mount Diablo High School is an incredible room. If you haven't been there, the picture I have is from the Pleasant Hill adult wood shop, but it was all I could pull off, and in the short notice to get this together. But woodworking is a skill that with all of the home building that's taken place in some places, especially with the fires that have ravished our northern neighbors and whatnot. I know that the trades are always looking to recruit individuals. And if we had, students who were trained in wood shop and knew how to do framing and things of that nature, it's just a long, it's a skill that's dying out. And so there is a very extensive wood shop at Mount Diablo High. I know at Concord High, they have something similar as well, but just wanted to highlight that. This is actually, I already talked about that. So also just in closing about COVID or whatnot, mental health in our schools, we are in all of our schools and all of our programs, we are really re-engaging with our students. And again, we know that our students have all been affected by the pandemic in different ways. So as we're going through these programs, we want to make sure that we're really paying close attention to the mental health state of our of our students and faculty, just because these times are so trying. This is something that can be found on our website, and it's very applicable for today. Actually, I'm looking outside and it looks pretty clear today, but this is for air quality index rankings. And so, as smoke is becoming more and more, part of our lives here in the Bay Area, this is the 5th year in a row when we really have been affected by the fires. I don't think that what we went through last year, when it was like Judgment Day, and this we couldn't see the sun and it was pitch dark from all the smoke, like that is going to be our new normal going forward. And so we have this so that I'm not, or some other principal or someone random isn't just making these decisions of when to shelter in place or when to close schools or when to send kids home or when it's okay to play a sporting event. So we have these indexes and guidance. And again, I made it foggy on purpose so I didn't get people caught up in this, but this is on our website if anyone would like to get more information on our AQI ratings. Just briefly on our LCAP goals. Again, our LCAP is our local control and accountability plan. What the state does is they take all of our state funding and they put it in a big pot, and then we have to come up with our plan of how we're going to distribute those funds. And so with that, we have to have goals. And so our goals are, all students are going to receive a high quality education. We're going to have highly qualified, culturally proficient, and a responsive staff that engages with our students and is, highly skilled. And we're going to make sure that our families and community, are well informed, and that they're empowered partners of the Mount Diablo Unified School District. We really want to, partner with our families and community. This is another document that we're working off of. This is from a state organization that came in last year, and they really did an audit on all of our instructional programs. And from that audit, it actually kind of aligns with our LCAP goals, but we're really looking at learning acceleration. So how can we accelerate learning amongst our students? How can we make sure that there's educational equity amongst all of our students so that all of our students are college and career ready? So different students just may need different levels of support or different levels of enrichment. And so we want to make sure that we're providing that. And then again, making sure that there's social emotional learning taking place throughout our district with our students, and making sure that we're not only just worried about the academics of our students, but worried about the health of our students and families and community. One good thing that we got from distance learning is that we were just forced in to really dive headfirst into the pool of technology. And so we now have Chromebooks, we have devices for all of our, approximately 29,000 students. So that was something great. We also have outfitted all of our employees with devices, whether that be a laptop or a Chromebook or a desktop, but all of our employees have devices as well. The technology is used for teaching and learning. So now that has been, embedded into our program and into our goals and into what we expect from our students. things that, you know, we ran into, there's connectivity issues that we can, as a district, we can't just solve it by giving out hotspots to our students, but we have to work with different partners, whether it be local government or state government, and really making sure that there is internet access to all of our families. And I know that there's work being done at the federal level, the state level, and the local level on this. And then as a district, you know, we really have to make sure that our infrastructure can handle all the new technology that is, you know, that is coming. These, as superintendent, these are sort of the actions I'm going to really define and work on this year, is really determining what our student outcomes. So what is our mission and vision? I'm going to do this on a governance team, and my governance team is the school board. And so again, you know, I'm the school board's only employee, and they hold me responsible for implementing the mission and vision of the district. And so together, you know, we're gonna work on really establishing what that mission and vision is and updating it, because we're in a different world than we were, you know, years ago. And as the gentleman said earlier, you know, I'm the fourth superintendent in the last 2 years in the district. So, you know, we need to relook at what it is that we're doing. I want to ensure, along with the board, that our fiscal resources are you know, are strong and healthy, so we can meet the needs of our students and staff and community. We want to have strong academic programs. We want to make sure that our culture within the district is one of support and one of supporting one another and holding high expectations and support for our students. And then we always need to do a better job at communicating. And that's it. We're going to have a great year. I know I'm 24 minutes and 30 seconds, but I'll leave it open to questions. Whew.
Great, thank you, Dr. Clark.
Yeah, any parents out there? Do we have any parents in the district or whatnot? Or just, you know, again, I talked about you all a lot in my presentation because you all are community, but some of you may be parents as well. I know we have some alumni on the call and whatnot, but anyway, so I'll open it up to any questions.
Yeah, I'd like to say I'm really happy to hear that the high schools are kind of focusing on the vocational technical, if I will. I know that's an old word. I don't know if that's the current word, but when I was going to school, it's kind of vocational technical trades kinds of things. Because we've been having discussions with a number of CEOs and senior executives in different industries. And we've been having this discussion for several months now. And part of it is exactly what you're doing, which is implementing the trades. We were talking about at the junior college level, but I'm glad to hear that it's in the high school level. The other thing that we talked about is, as a country, as a society, as a community, we have to stop talking badly about blue collar. We have to stop putting it down. We realize now over the last 18 months that they are just as important, if not more important, than those of us that have degrees and think we're all that. Because at the end of the day, those people putting together back those fires and those houses and those buildings, it's not you and me, it's them. And they're the ones that really should be thanked, and they're the ones that we should be promoting. And those, I'm asking, really saying this for our community, is stop, let's talk positive about trades, about other things going than just going to college. Because going to college, as we've seen over the last 24, 36, 48 months, is not the be all end all to get a job and make your life better. There's a number of ways to do living wages. And I know you're new here, but that's what the Concord Naval Weapons Station battle is all about, is living wage, trades, jobs, so that people can live here, put their kids through school, you know, buy a house, be part of the community. That's why what you're doing is important. And I'm just saying, as a community leader and a business leader in this community, I'm glad you're here. I hope you stay around. I definitely want to reach out and meet you. And so thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
Right.
Yep.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thanks, Palo. Tamara, you have your hand up.
call me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So our signal is terrible. I hear about every third syllable. Yes, Dr. Clark, thank you so much for being here today. I caught almost all of your presentation. Sorry I'm late. We live out on Morgan territory, and we're looking at potentially being without power from tonight until Thursday, about 5 o'clock.
Right, well, there's a big wind advisory coming, right?
Wind advisory, and there was a planned work hardening, area hardening work done for Thursday. It was already planned, and they have to do it. But the good news for us, which I just found out, it's going to be a tough sell, but I'm going to try, is that if they get that work done on Thursday, we won't have any more PSPSs out here. We'll be fixed and we'll be clear. So
Awesome.
we just have to be tough and not whine. That's hard. Dr. Clark, my question, I have grandkids that are in the school district. And early in your presentation, you were talking about addressing mental health needs of the students. Overall, how are you finding the students that are returning to the classroom this week? Do they, my guess is that kids weather this stuff a whole lot better than the rest of us do. But how are you finding the kids' attitude, their mental health levels, their stress levels? Are they doing well, doing, you know?
Yeah, so students are happy to be back in class. They are happy. Even asking middle schoolers, they are happy to be back. You know, I know in our country, in some of our communities, there's a big debate on mask wearing. It is not with the kids. I was just out visiting the school. I was with the kindergarten teacher outside. Her class was out there playing outside. Every single kid had his or her mask on. They weren't told to do it. They were just wearing it, running around, laughing, playing. You know, our students they're very resilient, right? Oftentimes they're more resilient than us adults, but the students so far have been, you know, just been really happy, been very obedient. Right, I go into classes, they're all sitting there. It's also the first couple of days of school. So what's going to happen is, as you know, as they become more comfortable, as they develop relationships with their teachers and things of that nature, things are going to start coming to the top, right? It just hasn't happened on our 4th day of school. I mean, we've had some little minor things, a couple kids crying and, you know, wanting to go home, things like that. But overall, our students are doing okay, but we know that down beneath, there are some issues that are going to come out. But also the thing about students is that once they trust, then they just open up. And they're just in that place where they're just getting to know their teachers and things like that. So to answer your question, it hasn't risen to that level just yet, but we're more than sure that it will. And we're staffed and ready to address it. Is that Kevin has his hand up? Thank you.
Yeah, I do. Thank you very much. Excellent, everything you're saying. And I would agree. I've heard my friends with their younger kids are really excited. The kids are excited to be back to school, parents, teachers. I know a lot of those folks in this community. My question is, you know, staffing. Let's just say there is, you know, it's kind of coming back a little bit. And I can imagine in the past, it's hard to find substitute teachers and, you know, with the ongoing staffing issues we have everywhere in Concord and California, you know, is that something that you're putting a plan together with? So if the inevitable does happen, you're prepared to smash some students into other classrooms and do all that movement?
Yeah, so we've actually, you know, for the first time in some time, we've held several hiring fairs, and so, you know, we have a fair scheduled for later on this week. I know, you know, 2 weeks ago there was a concert down at Todos Santos Park, and we had staff down there handing out flyers for our job fair, and so we have been hiring like crazy. We still need to hire more, but we have planned for this, and we do have dedicated teachers who aren't necessarily assigned to a specific class, but they're going to be assigned to a school where they can help out. It's inevitable that we are going to have folks who test positive for COVID and are going to need to quarantine. That's already happening. And, you know, we can look at the districts and schools that have already opened over the last couple of weeks, and they have all experienced that. So we are hiring like crazy. If any of you know anyone who wants to be a substitute, or, you know, is in between jobs and has a degree and wants to apply for a substitute, or many of our other positions, we're hiring everywhere from, you know, from yard supervisors all the way to financial analysts in our finance department and everything in between. So we are hiring. We do have a plan. You know, we're going to have to get through this, right? A lot of this is uncharted territory, and we're going to have to do the best we can. But, you know, our staff members are up for the challenge, and they're willing to roll their sleeves up and do what it takes to continue to serve our students in person as best we can. So we are very well aware of that and working hard, just like everyone else, with hiring. You know, if you go on our social media, we're posting about hiring all the time and trying to recruit as much as possible.
No, great. I imagine that's in the back, you know, of your brain all the time. So good luck. Let us know from the chamber if we can push out any information. We'd love to help.
Great, thank you. And you know, I just want to say about what Mr. Walker said earlier. I think it's Mr. Walker. What he said earlier about the trades. You know, there was a time in education, and I may have fell victim to this or whatever, where we just wanted every student to be, you know, prepared to go to college and ready to go to college. But it's just not that world anymore. And what I truly believe in, and at the foundation of who I am as an educator, I believe that all students have value, right? And so just because, you know, you're graduating high school and you're going to UC, you're no more valuable than that other student who's going to a trade school. And actually, you know, to get into the trade schools is somewhat like, you know, it's somewhat competitive, right? You got to pass an exam. You have to have those soft skills, and the soft skills are, you got to get up at 4 a.m. and get to a site, right? That's how you know, earn your way in. But if you're able to do that, then yeah, you are going to be employed for a long time if you pick up one of those trades, a plumbing trade, the pipe fitters, you know, all of those things, roofers, there's a need for all of that. And so a lot of it comes down to, you know, just recognizing that our students all have talents and gifts. And if we can create a pathway or an opportunity for more kids, why would we not? And so, so again, I didn't start this program here. These were programs that were in place, but I am darn sure going to promote them and support them all I can, and make sure that these students are getting just as much credit as our students who are getting into the top universities as well. So I see we got another hand up. Is it Edie? Eddie?
Eddie Bursan. Hi, I'm your friendly city council guy in Concord, former mayor or whatever. One of the things that I've been putting to some of your board members is the issue that you have a large number of homeless students. Not just homeless in the terms of couch surfing or doubling up or tripling up, but actually apparently you have quite a few people that are living in their cars or elsewhere. What I would like to do is get an okay and get cooperation from you to get this group of people, maybe start with like a dozen, and create a safe parking place, maybe in Glenbrook, because it's got a large field in the back where we can have security and there's no residents on two sides because it's up against the highway. And I can then we can then have social services provide a safe place there, and the kids can go to school. You can get them, we can get them off the streets and off the craziness of day-to-day parking. So my question to you is, A, would you support that concept? And B, what the hell do we have to do to get it going?
That's a loaded question, because because again, I mean, they have tried that in other places. I think if you Google, you know, San Francisco 2 years ago tried a similar program where they were, they opened up one of their middle schools. They were, you know, they opened up their gym and students were able to come and they were able to sleep in the gym, take showers and things like that. And there really was not a, for what they put into the program, it really, families didn't really take advantage of that, right? So I'm not going to make a commitment right here and right now, but I would be willing to sit down and talk about this and see. I think that with all the resources that the city has, that there's some other resources out there besides the school district, which, you know, we have lots of, you know, guidelines that we need to follow and things of that nature. And so there's just a lot of red tape with the school district. And so I get it. I want to help our homeless families. I don't want our kids sleeping in cars or you know, in tents and things of that nature. And I'm willing to do what I can within the, you know, within the guidelines that I have to follow, which are plenty to address this issue. So I'm open to talking about that, but there's no way I can make a commitment on a call like this.
The question is, who are you going to talk to and when?
So first, I mean, I would talk with, you know, I would talk with our attorneys and I would look at our current education code and our board policies. So that would be kind of our first steps. And then I would want the city to do the same thing, right? And have the city attorneys look at this. And so those would be the types of conversations that we would just have to start with on legally, could this happen? And where has it happened previously? Because, you know, again, I don't think you're the first person to come up with this idea. This idea has been floated around. It's the second district I've been in where something like this has come up. And so I know that this is out there. So I'd want to look at other programs.
I want to make it clear, I'm not asking for the kids to be put in sleeping inside the schools. I'm looking for a piece of land. All right. We have people willing to set up the land, set up the volunteers and a whole bunch of other things, but they need a piece of land. That's all I'm asking for from the school district. So I would appreciate it. Do you think you can give me a call, in about 2 weeks does that give you enough time to talk to your lawyers and about the possibilities?
Sure, let's talk in a couple weeks.
Okay, I'll put you down.
Sounds good. All right, any other questions? So again, you know, you guys, you know, the chamber's work is very important. You know, strong school district, strong chamber, strong community. And so we're on the same page, and I'm a resource. I'm gonna tell you that we could use industry partners. And so I know Ms. Fontanilla is on the call. And I know she's always recruiting and looking for opportunities to provide mentorships for our students and to provide those opportunities. So as you guys are in your circles and at the chamber mixers and things like that, just again, keep us in mind. And you know, and I'm around. I am local. I live in Brentwood, but I've worked throughout Contra Costa County, and so I'm very, very familiar with this area. And I have been here a little over a year, so I'm on the right track. I'm on the right track. Things are going well. So anyway, again, just thank you, whoever set up this invitation for me to come out and speak. I'm always willing to, you know, engage with the community, and especially our community leaders at whatever level. And I just appreciate your support.
Yeah, thank you again, Dr.
Thank you.
Clark.
That was great. Great information.
Great. All right. I'm sorry I went a little over, but
no,
you're good.
This is perfect timing. Heather mentioned in the chat that she will send us the link. So if anyone is interested in participating in the Career Pathways Advisory Committee or anything, like Victoria and Heather said, the chamber ourselves are a part of that. We're an industry partner. So, you know, we see firsthand what these teachers are experiencing and kind of the needs of the teachers. So it's great to hear for us also, so we can share out into the community what teachers are looking for to then teach the students and how to prepare for a workforce. So we're definitely on board for that. Let's see.
Can I just say something,
Sure,
Melissa? I just want
absolutely,
to let
Victoria.
Dr. Clark know that actually the outreach came directly from our chamber board expressing interest, particularly our committee, Business and Economic Government Policy. And I said I would be glad to see if we could make this happen. And Laura, of course, supported it. So we're very grateful that you could accept the invitation of the chamber and provide this. There's been a lot of discussion, and as you know now, a lot of interest in Mount Diablo and the progress we're making. So thank you.
Thank you.
I just also want to say thank you to the chamber for hosting this and for bringing Dr. Clark. I know that the Concord Chamber had a really strong relationship with Dr. Nellie Meyer, who was our previous superintendent, who was the superintendent for 6 years. So we haven't actually been going through that many superintendents, just to clarify. We did have Dr. Martinez for just 1 year in between, but now I think we are quite stable with Dr. Clark, and I'm really thrilled to be seeing this relationship building between him and the chamber. I think it's going to be really fantastic for our long-term partnerships. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Sharice.
Hey, Melissa, this is Sharon. I just want to say to Dr. Clark and to the chamber, same time next year. This was fantastic. I think it was a great start, you know, to back to school. And I would love to hear this same thing again next year as far as the status of the district. So thank you.
Yeah, maybe we can go ahead and schedule that now. I'll reach out to Laura.
Yeah, I got it.
Laura will schedule it too. It'll be on my calendar. Like,
Oh.
yeah, she's
Yeah.
amazing.
I got my pen. You're in ink, sir.
Right. Well, good. Well, you all have a good rest of your meeting. I thank you for the opportunity, and reach out anytime, and good luck to all of you during these uncertain times. I know that it's touch and go a lot, but I have faith in, you know, I have faith in our desire and our motivation to keep going. And I know that each of you will continue to do that. So thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Before we wrap up the rest of the meeting, we do have a couple of our elected official representatives on the call. We actually have Senate, Assembly, and Supervisor. And then, of course, we had Eddie might have jumped off. So if any, oh, Eddie, you're still there. Sorry, everyone's moving on my screen. If anyone has any updates and you're a rep and you would like to share with us, you can go ahead and unmute yourselves. Again, everyone keeps moving, so I keep losing all of my reps. So please feel free to jump on.
I just have one quick announcement. So hi everyone, Colleen Awad with Supervisor Machot's office. Actually this Thursday at the Music and Market Series in Todos Santos, the county is teaming up with the city. We're going to be out there with our mobile vaccine clinic. So if you know someone who hasn't been vaccinated yet, send them to the concert on Thursday night and they can get their shot there. There's also free movie tickets with it. So they will be right in Todos Santos Plaza from 6 to 8 p.m.
Great. Thanks, Colleen.
Thank you.
Mike or Alexia, do either of you? If not, that's okay too.
I'll just jump in real quick and say that the Assembly is back in session. So if there are bills that you have questions on or comments on, please feel free to reach out to me and highlight those with us because these last few weeks of session for this year are going to go pretty fast and furious, no pun intended. So please, if you have anything that you would like to highlight to the Assembly member, please do not hesitate to reach out. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Oh, Alexia's having mic issues, but she is new to the Senators team, so we will be seeing a lot of her coming up as well. Eddie.
Yes, this Saturday is a momentous date. We will be deciding who we're going to go through the next phase of the development with, trying to get a master developer. What we will be doing is choosing one of three people, one of three organizations to go to the next step to negotiate what's called an exclusive negotiation agreement, to get down to the details of exactly what's going where, who's doing what. Well, we already know what's going where. We want to know who's paying what and what the hell we're getting. So there you go. This is really important for the city, and it's going to start Saturday at 9 o'clock. It will not be as good as my classic Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck cartoons, but nevertheless, It's expected to go at least 4 to 6 hours. So you can tape it, come back and forth, you know, have a few drinks or whatever. But it is very important to the future of the city. And again, this is not a final vote. This is a vote to see who goes to the final stage. And things could always go sideways in the final stage if we don't come to an agreement. But this way we are negotiating just with one group rather than the awkwardness of what we had last time, which is 2 groups, and you cannot, under the structure of this government, say, hey, this guy's giving me this, what will you give me? It doesn't work that way, which stinks. But then again, you know, when I'm emperor of California, we'll change that. So there you go. So again, Saturday, be there.
Thanks, Eddie. Patience, you have an update.
Yes, I do. Thank you. So Patience from the Workforce Development Board. Tomorrow, we have the Business and Economic Development Committee, and our agenda is very robust. We are bringing in the Oakland Black Chamber to come and talk to us about the work of the Black Chamber. We're looking at equity and inclusion, and we realize that Contra Costa does not have a Black Chamber that is active. We are involved with the Hispanic Chamber and other chambers in the area. So we hope you join us for this presentation. We also have the Health Career Pathway Program with a couple of partners, including Opportunity Juncture, and they're going to be presenting their Health Career Pathway CNA program. We will be hearing from the Martinez adults. Suzanne Murphy will be talking about her successful program, as well as a dialogue between the board members on challenges faced by businesses in opening up post-COVID. This will be led by a Sunset Development marketing director. So we hope you join us. The agenda is on the Workforce Development Board website under committees, business and economic development. Thank you.
Thanks, Patience. All right. Next month, Tamara, remind me, we have Mindy Gentry with the City of Concord speaking on the RHNA.
The RHNA numbers, the affordable housing numbers that what Concord has to build, or not, they have to zone for. They don't have to build them, but what big number. Eddie, I can't remember what it is, but it's a big number.
Are you talking about RHNA numbers?
Yes.
4,000. 5,200.
Yeah, 5,400 units. We have to provide zoning for those units somewhere.
One of the things we're not sure of, which is on the base, we're talking about 13,000 dwelling units. We don't know where that fits in under the RHNA world. And that may be something that I think I've asked, Tim Grayson may be working on that once we decide what we've got. It is partially a legal distinction and partially a, what's coming out of the state of California, what will they accept? But you are correct that what it is we have to provide the zoning for this housing. And one of the most, this unknown aspect is how the hell do we do this? And that is the key number. We are not required to build it. We are required to have the zoning so that someone else can sweep in and build this stuff. And one of the nice things about Concord is with the base, we can solve both at the same time. We're going to pick the guy who we want to build this stuff and then tell them it has to be 25% affordable. And that's part of the deal. No one gets a deal without it being 25% affordable. And that means 3,000 affordable units and another 10,000 or 9,000 market rate things. So there you go. So housing is an issue, and there will be a big decision on Saturday, hopefully, and it won't get kicked down the road. And that's what we got.
Great. Thank you for that clarification. So again, Mindy Gentry, she's the planning manager with the City of Concord. So she'll be presenting on that. I think it's September 21st. So we'll be sending out invites for that soon. So we do have a lot coming up. Be sure to check out our calendar. Again, just moving forward, we've moved most of our events to Zoom, considering the spread of the new variant. So we will be on Zoom. which is great because we get to see each other on here. We get to record it so we can catch all this information in a replay later. So with that, I hope everyone has a great Tuesday. We hope to see you virtually soon, and have a good night. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Great
Thanks,
job.
Melissa.
Appreciate it.
Everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.